not only do I often talk with strangers, I'm often bombing to strangers. Always at the cleaners, at the dog park. I
Oh,
always
if you're
like,
bombing at the cleaners, you go to a different cleaner. You're hilarious. Oh my God, it's another episode of Good Enough, and it could not have come soon enough because Natasha, I have not seen you in simply a week, 2 weeks. I miss you.
I miss you too. I have poison oak. It's really becoming a medical event in my life.
No, show me poison. Show me your poison.
I get it about every three. Then you know what happens?
Ew.
Like a hair gets in it, and then I start and like all the ointment. I start to like. I feel like I'm like a meth head with like who thinks ants are crawling in their head. You know, like
Oh my God, Natasha, this is fucking horrible.
so. What
We've
happens is poison oak this season isn't red. It's just green. So it's very
what?
hard to identify. And then my dog barrels into it, and then I brush my dog because he's like a dog you gotta brush every day. And then
Do
I
not
get
brush
this
your dog. Don't touch your
horrifying
dog.
thing.
This is awful, Natasha. So then your dog runs through the poison and then infects all of you? Are you the only one?
Well, my daughter's like immune to it, and
Amazing.
I think that I might be like allergic to it. Like I get it like really bad all the time. So I don't know. I'm
Ugh.
kind of over nature, to be honest.
Yeah, get out of nature.
Bring me to the
It's
city, man.
yeah, come to the city. Get wounds from crackheads with knives. Enough with the bushes and the poison. Diversify. So, okay, so you got poison oak on your arm. How long does it take to go away?
And on my belt line.
What?
Yeah,
That's the sex zone.
I know. And don't worry, it only takes 2 weeks for it to go away. Sorry,
Natasha, this is horrible.
no, no, hold on. I will not be so distracted. I just need to get this hair off of my arm because I
No,
was,
I think the condition of your body is horrible right now. Not that you're
I
distracted. You
know.
deserve to look wherever you want to look. If this whole episode you want to just look down at your poisonous belt line, that is your right.
Well, my
This
daughter's trying to convince me to take mugwort for it, and I'm like, you know what? Let's just go to the doctor and get the
what
strongest steroids.
isn't that just a Harry Potter thing? What is mugwort? What's mugwort? What is it? And how does she know about it?
I don't know because of her school, but it is something that witches use. So maybe it does
Okay,
work.
can I just say I did have a conversation with someone whose kid was in what kind of school is it?
Um,
Waldorf.
oh yeah, Waldorf schools are like that too.
Yes.
My kid's
Okay,
not Waldorf, but
I have something to say about Waldorf school.
yes.
Bad. Bad.
Why?
My friend who had their kid, because good for when they're young, but bad for when they get older because it's just based apparently on like one German guy's ideas. That's
It
what
is
is this
very,
an era where we're going to listen to one German guy? A guy, let alone a German guy.
well, here's the problem with that philosophy that you have. People were smarter back then. So one
One
German
German
guy,
man has done a, that's not a good history. Listening to the opinion of one German man?
it is
Man,
very Nordic obsessed.
it's yeah, keyword
It,
dick. And guess what else? Guess what else? I just think that like these like big like ideas about like how to one size fit all change it all. And I get that like public education is another one idea or whatever, but I just think, you know the Hoffman Institute?
yes, I want to take that.
You should go to it, but you should also know, again, it's a guy that has ideas, and my friends who have come back from it, a lot of them have had great experiences. I think it's like a great thing always to like explore how to deepen your relationship with yourself and your trauma and understand why you do things. However, there is a bit of like a one size fits all to it that people have, my friends have had notes on. So I'm just saying the Waldorf situation, one takeaway that my friend had, I was at her cabin this weekend in Lake Arrowhead, and
And
she
her
just
son
was
goes
like,
to Waldorf?
no, went to a Waldorf, and school may or may not have burned down. And just the takeaway is like, there was a lot of catching up to get him to the public school standards. And after our episode of the Tiger Sisters, look, when the Tiger Sister said to us, what did she say? She said, it was Jean, I think, that said, I'm going to tell my kid they can choose whatever they want to do as long as they're the best. it's like obviously that's like one polar, and like when she has a kid she'll realize like that's, and I think we had that conversation in the episode. It was last week. It was a great episode if you haven't listened. But in the extremes of like your kid's got to be the best at the thing that they do, or the other extreme, which is like your kid just plays it out and figures it out. It's like, it's so our podcast, like kind of like the world of our podcast is like trying to find the middle ground. And I do think from what I've heard, Waldorf is a little bit extreme in the other direction.
Okay, well, I don't have opinions on it, but I will tell you, in terms of the Tiger Sisters, I tried their matcha, their small batch matcha made in
Uh,
Japan. It was the best.
really? Because it's like, we looked it up, we texted each other. It's like $75. These girls are literally kings. What do we got to do to get like these girls? I mean, $75 matcha they're selling. What are we going to sell,
It
Natasha?
was good though. It was smooth. My daughter said, "Too bad we don't have any lavender sugar."
Oh
I
my
was like,
God, your
"That would be
daughter.
nice."
A little mugwort and lavender sugar.
Well, I wanted to do eras because I had a good one happen to me, and I've been really wondering what you specifically would do in this situation.
Well, unfortunately, we don't have time for eras.
Oh no.
This is the first episode that we don't know. No, I would love to. I like to give my opinion. What's your parenting era?
Okay, so it's not exact, well, it's like something that happened. And so I'm sitting at a restaurant. My husband's out of town. We're in a booth. My daughter and I are eating some beef ribs at like kind of a fancy restaurant. She
Your
really
arm
wanted
is
ribs.
itchy, your crotch is itchy.
I don't think I had my poison oak quite at that moment.
Okay.
Um, and we're eating, we're enjoying ourselves. She's coloring, we're talking. And then all of a sudden, this like 80-year-old man trudges over to the table.
Uh-oh.
And we're like nestled in a booth, you know? And he's like, "Hey," to my kid, "high five," and is trying to
Ew.
high five her across the table. And he looks, he's kind of falling apart, but he is at a fancy restaurant. He is kind of like very like full of himself, like later on he did ask the waitress if she was a model. Like
Yes, he's a man that goes to a restaurant and buys a drink so he can touch as many women of whatever various ages he can.
but he was 80. And then I didn't know what to do in the moment. She looked like helpless, because he's reaching across the table, just totally invading our space, interrupting our meal. And I said, "Oh, I'm so sorry. She doesn't talk to strangers." Not a great response.
That's a great response.
Do you think?
I think, of course. I think, like, if there's anything that I love about new age parenting, it's like protect our kids from needing to touch all these fucking weirdos. Protect our kids from. I remember when Wolfie was little, we were like in line to get onto the plane, and there was another fucking weirdo that was like wanted to touch not just his hands, but his face and his body. And I just like the friendly Canadian in me just like evaporated, and I was like, that's enough. We're
Oh, you said
good.
that's enough?
That's enough. Stop
Because
touching everything. Don't you know? Don't you
then
know that the news is in? We
Well,
don't
then we
like you.
played a game like, what would Sabrina have said? What would
That
Chelsea have said? So she wanted to know what all my other friends would have said.
okay, first of all, I want to know what Chelsea would have said.
I feel like Chelsea, well, I think her son maybe would have like not like just continued doing his like
His own
writing or something.
thing.
I don't
Yeah.
know. Like, I have no idea. I was like, I bet Sabrina would have said something similar to what I said.
You're right. I would have, Shauna would have pressed charges. Shauna, you need one
He just
person
wanted
that's
a high
just,
five. In his mind, when he grew up, children are like the property of everybody, especially the
that's
cute ones.
exactly it. And it's like, nah, where's your deed? Where's your title? Back away.
Right.
This is my child.
And it's also like I do think prepping, especially girls, that men are going to think that they just have a right to talk to you, touch you, come up to you, interrupt you, dominate you, and it's not okay.
It's not okay. You are completely right. And it's a perfect moment to have this conversation with your daughter about like, you are well within your right to not go ahead and touch every person that wants to touch you. You are beautiful. Historically, men and women, just like you said, kids have been viewed as like public property, and that's just not what you are. And this is like a perfect time to have this conversation. But like the memes that we've like watched in the past a couple episodes, we've watched these memes that are like a kid practicing a bully coming up to the kid and like the kid being like, I like my clothes, that's okay, I like myself. It's like having that line in your pocket as a daughter, especially, to be like, my body is my body, no thank you. Maybe that's kind of
How about
gay.
just like, no thanks?
I also said gay in the retro form, but that's just my way of being like, guys, my word, my choice. Yeah, no thank you. No thank you. I mean, like immediately it's fucked up because immediately I'm coming up with like things that take the like edge off of it, where it's like I have COVID, but it's like I don't feel like touching you. I don't want to touch you, and I don't. Also, you know that man went pee and touched his dick and didn't wash his hands.
There's like a certain type of elderly man that has like open wounds. Have you noticed this type of guy?
You're
We
in a
can
bit of
cut
a
this.
glass house to be throwing stones from right now.
Oh, I have an open wound.
Walking around with your
No matter
poison
what
oak.
the man's like. I don't want my kid to think they
No,
have to talk to him.
no. And like also the extension, like it is interesting that like next you're talking about observing his behavior, and the next thing he does is like tell the waitress that she's a model. It's like this is a man coming out of like a cardboard cutout from the past. And it's not on us to be like, you gotta change, man. But it is on us to be like, that doesn't work for this here generation. Like in a world where like our mothers were like, go ahead, shake
Yeah.
his dick. It's
Not just
like,
our mothers. Me, when I first moved to Hollywood, I would have shown my breasts for a Jamba Juice commercial. Like anything they asked,
first of all, if
I would
anyone
have
wants to
done.
give me a Jamba Juice commercial in exchange for seeing my tits, that is not off the table. But no, you can't kiss my son on the cheek as we're boarding a plane, creepo.
Yeah. You know what else I overheard because it is fun when you're sitting close to people in a booth to overhear the conversation.
Yeah.
He also said they were with another elderly couple and they were like right away they were like, "Can we just get separate checks because we lost friends another set of friends because we drank so much and then they got upset that it was so expensive. So can we just make sure we
What
have
a
separate
well, it's really beautiful that they found each other because neither of them have chill and they both have drinking problems. They have
Yeah.
matching drinking problems and zero chill about sitting down and playing it cool about it.
Yeah. So okay. So you would have done the same thing because my kid's
Yeah.
like, well, I'm not. It's not that I'm not allowed to talk to strangers. She really hates it when I lie. You know.
Yeah. Well, you know what? We don't touch strangers. That's like kind of our family rule. Sorry, my family rule is I don't touch strangers. I barely talk to them. Truly, like if you watch these like reels about how to not, there's so many reels in my algorithm about like I worked with missing children and I worked with the FBI and these are the top 5 ways to not have your kid be abducted. And it's
Oh my God.
always, yeah,
That's in
girl.
your that's in your algorithm.
That's like me right before I go to sleep.
So what are they? Because I'm not on Instagram.
Okay, so basically what it is like do not teach your kids or teach your kids rather that you never have to help a grown-up. Grown-ups ask grown-ups for help. A woman, a man, a chicken, whoever it is. I'm sorry, I'm just delighted that I said a chicken and zero reaction from Poison Oak, but me just sort of thinking of a chicken asking for help is all of a sudden throwing me on the rest of the sentence. Okay, a woman, a man, a chicken. Put the chicken aside. If they are asking a kid for help, it's either like an unhinged person or it's a trick.
Okay, this
And
is good.
yes, and another thing is like there's a video of a man that was like exposing how easy it is to like actually, you have that conversation with your child and then like they forget about it because the guy has like a cute dog and he's like the kid walks up to the dog and is petting the dog and then he goes, "Do you want to see the dog's puppies? They're right over here." And the kid, yes, and the kid who just had the conversation with their parents about not helping a grown up, it's like, well, technically that's not helping a grown up, follows the man to his car.
Wait, so you tell your
Yes.
kid this or like to prep them?
Yes, I do, but I think that we have to keep on having the conversation because it doesn't feel nefarious to like go look at a puppy. And like, our slogan was like, don't take candy from a stranger, but it's like, don't do anything with a stranger. And before we go to a theme park, we're always like, do not, if you get lost, stay in the place where we last saw each other. Don't move for a while. But if you're going to get help, the next step is to get help from a mother or someone that works there, but preferably a woman.
Wait, the FBI was talking about people with puppies in their van?
Well, it's all people that like have Instagram accounts now that like used to be, searching for missing children.
Oh my
And
God.
like basically it's all about being like my child has a boundary between, it's kind of off of what you're talking about. It's like that conversation with your daughter is the beginning of talking about grown-ups that want something from you are actually not entitled to it. And even though, we're in a school system where, yes, you listen to your teachers and all of that, there is a boundary of if something makes you uncomfortable, you can and should always come and talk to me about it. And grown-ups do not ask kids for help. In fact, and also like this extends to like women helping men. Like there's like a bunch of cases, famous cases of like women getting abducted when a man is like, can you help me like put this mattress in my car? Can you help me like I need help over here? It's like I would extend it to like women don't help loose men unless you like know that there's somebody that can like track you and all of that. It's like it's just kind of a dirty, dirty world.
You know what sucks about this is that as a comedian, I am often striking up random conversations with with strangers. And it's
Yes.
bad modeling because like, if I'm at the dog
But
park,
as a grown up, of course you talk to strangers.
right, right, I guess that's true. I'm just like, not only do I often talk with strangers, I'm often bombing to strangers. Always at the cleaners, at the dog park, assuming everybody wants to think of the most sarcastic version of what's happening,
Oh,
It's
if you're
like,
bombing at the cleaners, you go to a different cleaner. You're hilarious. Stop taking yourself so seriously. They're smelling too many, what is it called?
fumes. Oh,
Chemicals.
that's a thing. Okay, what's your era?
Oh, I'm still reeling off your era, but my era is okay. So we went to this cabin this weekend with sweet, sweet couple mom friends, and then sweet, sweet Wolfie's two buddies. And
Aw.
my era is kind of A, just showing off that I went to a cabin. B, showing off that Wolfie was the inn to the cabin because it's Wolfie's friend's parent. So that's kind of cute. And C, I guess the parenting theme that we were exploring like on the way in and then throughout the weekend was like the idea of three friends. Three
Mm.
buddies being kind of this eternally controversial conundrum, but the weekend went great. But one of our friend's son who was going was like on the fence about going because he so sweetly said to his mom like, I don't know, like I like one-on-ones and like three people together sometimes I feel left out,
Yeah.
which is so sweet to communicate.
You don't think the mom made up that the son said that?
No, and maybe the mom felt nervous too, and it's like kind of like chicken and egg in terms of like if you're nervous about it, then your kid will also be nervous about it. But I felt, hold on, here's a sneeze. Here's a sneeze. It's coming. Oh, that means it's a good era. That means this episode is going well. Um,
I'm still
Nat-
trying to find the hair that's in my voice.
oh no.
Sorry, go ahead.
All right. It's the 20-minute mark where we're both falling apart. I'm ill. You've got hair on your poison oak. So, so what happened was we on the way, and I'm sure like all the parents on the way, by the way, there was a moment where I said, are the husbands there? And then our friend wrote, no men. And I screen grabbed it and sent it to Shauna with like confetti, which it's just kind of nice when it's just moms, you know?
Yeah, get them
Yeah.
out of here.
Just the men, it's like, it's fine. If the men were coming, then that's great. You know what's going to happen. I'll be with the boys, but I like being with the girls.
Totally. And I also
Okay,
hate like, yeah, go ahead.
you hate when men come.
Well, I hate when like sometimes like I get embarrassed because my husband will like parent another kid the way he parents our kid, and it's
Yes.
like that's not their way of doing it. Could you shut the fuck up, kind of thing, you know?
You're like, it's bad enough that I have this at home. Now I'm taking it on the road. Stop bombing at the cleaners. So, okay, so we have this weekend and driving
Oh,
up,
yeah, you had to talk
we're
in the.
like, we talked to Wolfie. I'm sure everybody talked to their kids about it, but like preemptively saying, like, hey, everybody knows what it's like to be left out. Nobody loves it. And at the same time, when you're hanging out, sometimes two people are in a rhythm or want to do a game and the other person doesn't want to. And that's okay. None of it is like, I think there's also like, again, in terms of the balance of things, to preemptively be like, come to me if you feel left out is like psycho and going to create victim
Mhm.
mentality. But anyways, what ended up happening was like multiple times throughout the weekend, there was like a playroom, so ideal. We're like cozy on the couch, the fire's booming. Rowan has four mothers to go to. And then meanwhile, and then sometimes he would like cosplay being a part of what the bigger boys were doing. And then every now and then Wolfie would come down and hang with us and be like, "Oh, they're watching something I don't want to watch," or they're doing, but it was like so casual and sweet and it felt so nice, like when everything's kind of like humming in a way over the course of a weekend and no one's coming to us complaining about whoever or whatever, which is also like fine and possible and it doesn't make it bad. It just I felt like because one of the kids had like raised that alarm, it actually allowed us all to have this preemptive conversation where it was just a beautiful weekend up
So what was,
in.
it does sound awesome, but what was the preemptive conversation? What did you say?
I said, like, Natasha, I just told you.
Wait, wait.
God, this fucking hair on your poison oak. No, I said, okay, the summary is I said it doesn't feel great to be left out, but also being left out is not the worst. And oftentimes you will not realize, but you might be leaving someone else out. It's great to be conscious of it and not nice to be mean if someone doesn't like what you're doing and two people are jamming on it. But like naturally, that is the rule of threes is like one person's going to feel butthurt and it's okay to feel like you're not a part of everything. It doesn't mean people hate you. It doesn't mean that you're not going to be in the rhythm with one of those people later. It's just like it's okay. And I think maybe the deeper part is like just the idea of patience, which I have a really hard time with. I don't like lines, as you know. I do not like waiting. I like to just get it. And I think sometimes, like, it requires patience to hang out in a tripod because sometimes you are going to feel like this is not what I want to talk about. This is not the game I want to play, but just be patient.
That's
So
really good. See, I wanted
that's,
you to reiterate it because it's something that I think a lot of people do have problems with, and I've been getting out of it recently just by saying, "Oh, could this play date just be the two of them?" Because there's
yeah.
just been so much, drama and tears and exclusion that
I
I
think
tried.
girls also it's like gets a little deeper, right? Like
Yeah,
I feel like from what all the episodes where we've talked to people with daughters, it seems like there is like this relation point of like it just the psychological torture of it, the like mind games of it. Where it's like boys, it's a little more again, completely simplifying, but it can tend to be a little more basic. Um,
totally.
Okay, so here's the thing. There is a brand new section of this podcast, and I am so excited to get into it because I can't believe it took us so long to discover. I mean, Natasha, you have a history with deals, right?
Oh, so I know Sabrina, you've taught me how to get like very cheap business class tickets. You always have these great tips. You know all the websites. Now, when I was young, my mother made me cut coupons, and I organized and cut the coupons and sorted them, and we had a little plastic thing with all the different envelopes, and then I'd bring them to the grocery store. And now my daughter, we watch Young Sheldon, and they're always clipping coupons, and she's like, "Can we cut
That's
coupons?"
so cute.
And I'm like, "No, because I use Instacart, and we
Take her to
can't."
CVS and buy one thing, and you'll have
Oh,
like
that's a good idea.
9,000 coupons to clip.
I think I have an aversion to coupons in particular because it was so much of my childhood. Like I was the oldest daughter, so it was like very much like the job I had to do.
Yeah.
But did you cut coupons when you were little?
I grew up going to garage sales. Deals is like part of my family's religion. And by the way, the business class deals, I will make it a part of next week's
Oh,
episode. So that's called promo. That's called teasing.
love it.
But this section is called Deals, Deals, Deals. And yes, I grew up very, very big. And I'm actually finding it to be almost like, if I'm going to be honest, kind of like a problem now. Like I'm getting like really like obsessed with it. With some of the things that I'm about to reveal to you guys, I get like really into it. And it's like my ancestry is like doo-doom, doo-doom, doo-doom. And I'm like at grocery outlet. Anyways, there's a song to introduce this section. You guys can write in whether you want us to play the song every episode, but here's the song.
I don't
Ready?
even like if it ain't on sale, baby, that's a vice. Coupons in my bag, codes in my phone. If it's 20% off, I'm taking it home. Yeah, my mama said save it, my dad said stack. Now I get a thrill from a clearance rack. Deals, 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 yeah, you know the drill. If it's marked down once, I'm negotiating still. I'm that girl, I'm that feel. Call Sabrina, Jalees for the deals, 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 Sabrina, Jalees for the deals, deals, deals.
All right.
I feel like my kid would love that song.
I'm gonna send it to you, and I got to put your name in it as well. I got,
Oh, it's okay.
I really got egomaniacal about being the king of deals. But you're gonna come in with some deal advice as well. Do you
Yeah,
have
I
deal
could
advice,
get
or are
you.
you?
I could get you a coupon on some Honey Nut Cheerios.
Oh, okay. Well, I think everybody that's listening would appreciate that. Okay, first deal. This is fucking incredible. Chuck E. Cheese has a $67 summer pass. Do you know what that means? For $67 every single fucking day, you can bring your kids to Chuck E. Cheese, where, by the way, they've got a bouncer who is getting paid minimum wage, so don't put too much on them. But they've stamped your hand, so you can't leave. The 80-year-old man with open sores can't grab your kid in there and leave. They have like a black light stamp, and you need to leave. You leave with the kids you came in with. So $67. What does that get you? It gets you, I think, 60 or 40 points. I personally upgraded to the $96 one, which I have a silver pass. So I have a silver pass, which means I have 100 credits every single day at Chuck E. Cheese. Every ride, oh, not ride. It's like, so they do have little rides. They have little carousels and stuff. But every game is 1 credit. So they can play 100 games between the two of them every day. And guess how many days I've gone since I bought it 4 days ago? No. I bought it. I was away in the weekend, so truly, I bought it 6 days ago. We've gone 4 days, and I plan on keeping those numbers up. I mean,
Wait, you went to Chuck E. Cheese 4 days in a row, Sabrina.
in a row, and I would do it again, and I will do it again. I love it.
Well, that's so funny because like they must get something out of it because when we went to Dave and Buster's, as per your son's suggestion to my child,
Yeah.
um, Moshe and I were at the front desk for like 35 minutes because he was like, I saw this deal online where if we buy the food, we get like free whatever. And he was
Yes.
like, and it was like so confusing and the food was so disgusting. I'm like,
Yeah.
can we
Don't get the
just
food.
buy a game pass? Like why did you upgrade to the $96 one?
Look, as someone who loves deals, I've dragged my wife to enough lounges at the airport that were full to know the shame of trying to get the deal and then it's taking too long. So look, that's part of it, and that's why I'm trying to impart on you guys, the listeners, and Natasha. These are foolproof deals. Okay, this thing will truly. It's going to be a hot summer everywhere. The world is about to be on fire. Go to air-conditioned Chuck E. Cheese and pay one bill of $67. Not a bill in the future ever again. And yes, in the sphere of like arcades and places to take your kids, Dave and Buster's is like Natasha Leggero with open wounds. And Chuck E. Cheese is 80-year-old man trying to get a kiss from your daughter with open wounds. It's like dusty, it's crusty, it's old, but guess what? It's free. So that's my first deals.
And it's any Chuck E. Cheese, right? That's pretty amazing too.
It's any Chuck E. Cheese. And
Okay.
that is also something I haven't verified, but it's definitely the Chuck E. Cheese that I go to. Second of all, Costco, guys. Costco has for $69.99 a giant frog that you blow up, and it is like kids' Coachella at your house, okay? It's a sprinkler. The kids love it. You know, I promise you, you blow that thing up in your backyard, you're a star, and that'll keep you alive. Now, you know, between those two things, you have like an incredible summer ahead of you. And then third of all, and this is something where I am like, I have a problem, because when we were leaving Arrowhead, I saw a grocery outlet and I tried to tell Shauna, the baby was napping. I'm like, I'm just going to go in really quick. And she's like, no, you're not. And I'm like, yeah, I am. I want to go in. And she's like, you're not going into grocery outlet. We don't even have space in the car right now. What are you going to get in there? And I'm going to get so many deals for our family. Grocery outlet in Highland Park has 4 poppies for 99 cents. Poppy is a prebiotic soda that just got bought by Pepsi for like $2 billion or something. But it's like, it started as a mom started this soda in a farmer's market, and now the kids love it. It's like 20 calories. It's like good for your gut health. And I'm buying. I have like 300 of them. If you guys want poppies, I have so many of them. And I couldn't.
When you told me this, I thought they were flowers, and I was like, "That's so romantic, Sabrina, that you would just fill your car with poppies."
What's embarrassing is that I've told this story so many times, and now I know there's like a 60% chance people are going to think I'm talking about the flowers. I've got like 6 out of 10 times people are like, "Oh, I thought you were talking about flowers," and I haven't changed the way I've told the story. So Poppy the drink, 4 for 99 cents at grocery outlet, but also for the mamas, guys. You get like a $35 bottle of Sauvignon Blanc, $7.99. Okay.
The same brand?
What?
Is it a good brand? You're saying the same?
And there's lots of different wines. They have tons of wines that are for some reason crazy discount. So get your wine there. They have like organic kid snacks. I just got like those Z-Bar, the kids Cliff Bars. I got like all of the like organic, they have organic avocados. It's like a grocery store. Look, from the outside, it looks like you're going to get stabbed. But you go in there and you realize the only thing getting slashed is the prices. And Grocery Outlet, if you want to sponsor this podcast, I don't care if you give us 4 poppies per episode.
Okay, here's a question. What's the vibe inside Grocery Outlet?
You know, sometimes dismal. Sometimes it's like, okay, this is where people are getting their government cheese. And sometimes you see another cutie like you that just knows where to get those Cliff Bars, knows where to get that organic. You know, that milk that my kid will drink 1 fucking gallon of every day with the cow on it, the organic one. It's expensive. It's like $8. It's like the milk. That milk, guys, $2.99.
Wow.
$2.99. I am like, this is like, it's like a renaissance in my life to have discovered Grocery Outlet.
Well, you know, something really jacked is that I read this article.
Jacked means really muscular.
Okay, jacked up. I'm trying to not say fuck because like I'm trying to like replace all my swear words because my daughter's always like so uncomfortable if I swear. So you can say something's jacked up, can't you? Or messed up. Okay.
To me, jacked up means muscles.
Okay. You know what's really freaking
muscular?
You know what's totally effed up is that I am on Instacart, and have you heard this? They actually, based on your profile, they switch the Instacart prices.
No.
So if I go on Instacart and order butter, it might be higher based on my spending than if someone on Instacart for the first time goes to the exact same store and buys the exact same thing. And they're trying to outlaw this right now. But
oh my God.
It's like this pricing, it's called something. But yeah, isn't that fucked up?
Yeah, I feel like
where now?
I feel like in like Black Lives Matter era, there was like this like whisper campaign of like, you know, white people suffer racism too. But not until you just said that did I think it was true. This is true.
Well, it should be illegal to cast. And then I almost wanted to go to Albertsons because I was trying to get butter, and so I
You
go to.
should. What do you mean? How is that a laugh point for you? Almost went to Albertsons.
No, I just mean like I couldn't.
Oh, to check the prices.
Yes, because like I was, I've been like very ill with my poison oak. I haven't really been able to get out and like move around. So I'm doing Instacart,
Yeah.
and I could not leave the house. But I almost drove there to see if it was really $7.99 because like Sprouts, Albertsons, everything was giving me like the exact same high price for this thing that I knew is usually like $4.99. I need to get my ass to grocery outlet.
You need to get your ass to grocery outlet. I'm telling you, like you don't buy everything there, but you buy some things there. And should I tell you a secret?
Yes.
Okay. So Shauna's obsessed with wild fish, right? She's obsessed with, and everyone at this cabin too. It was like all of my like dreams of selling people on farmed fish were trampled on. Everyone was like, one of my friends had survived cancer, and so she's very much like every mom at the cabin was like, "You dumb bitch, eat organic, eat good food." So one thing that I no longer can get away with Shauna is like bringing her some piece of farmed shrimp or fish. Got it? Okay, I got it. But I found.
Farm sounds good. It's confusing.
I know, it does sound good. It sounds like there's like a real nice lesbian kind of feeding each chicken.
Okay.
And back to the chickens. So I found at Grocery Outlet, and I am scared because she listens to the podcast and it might ruin my life, but a can of wild crab. And I made her crab cakes from it. And I told her it was from Sprouts. But it said, I showed her the can says wild. It is wild crab, okay? It is like regular price was like $50 and it was $20 for the can. And she's like, these are the best crab cakes I've ever had.
Do you check expiration dates when you're
Yeah, of course. Of course. Like the milk, for instance, I bought it mid-April and it was expiring mid-May. So it's not like it's, Shauna is very suspicious. She's like, why is this happening? And I'm like, don't ask questions. Just fill the cart.
Dude, you are such a good cook. And like Moshe's a good cook too, but he doesn't mess with fish or crab or shrimp. I'm
going to make you the crab cakes.
Love that because.
Yeah, next time we record in the studio, then come over after. I'm going to make you those crab cakes. I have another can in my fridge. I'm dying for a reason to go back to Grocery Outlet and get another can of that crab. Okay.
So you don't get produce, but you do get like canned things.
I get produce. I get organic avocados, organic bananas, organic milk. Yeah, I'm getting produce there. I just have to be careful because Shauna is very suspicious, and I am kind of in my mind just for her psychological health. I am, which is maybe you guys can write in and let me know if this is fucked up, but I am putting it in Sprouts bags before I bring it home.
Are not.
I am, because we're recycling the bags and we don't need to answer the question. Like when I told her about the milk deal, I'm like, babe, it's the milk that you buy. And she's like, but there must be something wrong with it. And I'm like, okay, would it be better if I just didn't tell you that it's from Grocery Outlet? And she said yes.
So why is it cheaper there?
That's a great question that every white woman wants to know the answer to, and I have zero interest. I could not be less interested on. I'm assuming that it's like overages and all of this shit. Of like, why do you go sometimes and something's 50% off?
Right.
So here's what I feel. We've blasted through this episode. I would put it in the top 5 of all the episodes we've recorded. It's natural. It's fun. We're having fun. Natasha's arm is itchy, but beyond that, it's been incredible. We have time for either the meme of the week or a question from the audience. Which one should we do?
Why don't we do a question from the audience?
Yeah, I like the audience asking questions. Let's do that.
So I've got a question. Recently caught my 7-year-old in a pretty obvious lie, and I didn't want to shame her, but I also wanted to make it clear that it was not okay, and I'm really confused on how to do that, and any guidance you could give, I'd appreciate.
I can hear the daughter lying in the background.
I want to know what this lie was, though. Like, it's like it has to be like there's levels to the
Levels
lie.
to the lies. I mean, if my kid lies, I'm gonna call him out.
What do you say?
Yeah, I'm like, I don't think that tracks with the reality that I'm seeing. But also, we live in a world where it's never been more clear that everyone has different realities. So I think it is important not to make your kid feel like full of shame. And there's also, like, don't you feel, sometimes I lie to myself or I lie to my wife at the grocery outlet. But like you've justified it in your mind, and so it's easy to. I get why the question is sort of like tender-footed because it's like you don't want your kid to feel like you don't trust them or their version of reality is bullshit.
I think I really like the thing we were talking about before where it's like in our family.
Mm,
You
yeah.
know, I think like really trying to like because you're constantly trying to mold your child and your it goes back to that like your a statue of David that you're like that Kim Jong Pain. I hate saying his name because you always roast him.
I can't stop thinking
But
about North
but
Korea.
but the idea is that you're kind of trying to get off all of the unwanted parts to get the beautiful thing, the
Yes.
sculpture. And so
Yes.
every time you're like in our family, you're kind of chiseling at the unwanted parts and
Yeah.
you're
And
trying
glorifying the family in a cute way where it's like, out in the world, people might do this, but what we try to do in our family is not lie as I take grocery outlet milk out of a grocery outlet bag and put it in a sports bag.
but you know what? You're recycling the bag. So
I
unless she
am.
asks you point blank, is that from grocery outlet? And you say yes, you're not really lying.
I'm not lying. All I got to do is stop humming the theme song because I'm so in love with it that I'm in bed being like grocery outlet bargain market.
I want to go there with you because I spend so much money on groceries and I am just getting
Yeah,
taken to
you're
the
getting
freaking
fleeced. No, you're gonna love
cleaner.
it. You know what else I love about it?
Hmm.
The when you get the receipt, it just tells you how much you saved. One time I saved $800.
What?
Yeah, eight
That's
hundred
amazing.
dollars. I spent like 200. I saved $800. That was when I was bulking up on I was getting jacked up on Poppy.
Not jacked up. Wait, hold on. So, what do people do who don't have a grocery outlet?
I just love your daughter walking around being like, man, that is jacked up.
That is jacked. I don't know. I'm trying to think of like new swear
New
words, you know?
fucks. New fucks could be like, shit, dog. I don't know. You know what I think? I think kids should be. This is another thing. In our family, the grown-ups can swear and the kids can't. And
Yeah,
that's a really good practice because you don't know when to use it and not. Kids can get in really big trouble for saying the wrong word.
right.
Yeah.
Right. So the
But do you think we
lie,
answered, did we answer the lie question?
I think you just don't let something like that slide.
Yeah, because you don't want to raise a pretty little liar. You
Yeah.
want to raise a gossip girl.
And do you teach them the difference between white lies and
Uh, that white people are allowed to lie?
that that like there are such thing as like little lies that might be okay?
Yeah. Well, I'm definitely in practice showing my kids that.
I know you are.
Yeah, I'm like, we in our family, we mainly follow the rules, and if we have an idea about something that doesn't fit within a rule and we're not hurting anyone, we can decide to override as I cut people off to make a left. Look, if you are cutting someone off to make a left and you're holding up the people behind you, or then that's a problem. But if you're just sort of like going with the flow and entering where you enter, then that's just yeah, that's good for everyone. We're moving things along.
That's just good enough.
That's just good enough. And that has been another episode of Good Enough. Before you leave, don't forget to like, subscribe, and follow. We need, you know, I hate being desperate, but we need this or we die.
And also let us know if you got any tips, any coupon tips. What's the name of your segment for this
It's called
week?
Deals, Deals, Deals. I'm going to do a new song with your name in it too.
Okay, please do. And can you make sure that the girls sing in that really annoying cursive style where they like say like larv, larv, height, my heights.
My height.
How did you get them to do that? That really, because it like when you listen to music from
That
like,
was Cursive Girl with My Height.
oh my God, my kid took a picture the other day and she's like, oh, I'm trying to do that face that Britney Spears makes.
Oh my
And I'm
God.
just like,
Don't do it.
oh my God. But yeah, oh, when you listen to Britney Spears though and Miley Cyrus, like older pop stars, they don't do that terrible singing style. You know, like they
I don't
actually
know. I'd beg to
pronounce their
differ.
words.
We'll have to explore this next episode.
See you next time.
We're very busy. Bye.